Making Project Zomboid guides, some of which may be outdated when Build 42 goes live, has given me immense joy and satisfaction, simply because I've gotten to share my knowledge of this great game with beginners. And by doing that, I've received some very kind comments in the process, which warms my heart, because I know I'm helping someone to fall in love with an excellent game that I also love. But on the flip side, I sometimes have some of my viewers share with me some rather wacky hot takes. And if you've been following me recently, you'd know my favorite pastime is mocking short blades and the burglar occupation. And you'd also know that I think the axeman trait is a bit overrated, but still good. But one hot take that I consider to be even worse than endorsing short blades or the burglar is the endorsement of the fast reader trait. That being said, as per usual, I decided to test my opinion on this very topic. So I went into a controlled environment via debug mode and tested the fast reader trait alongside the slow reader trait and default stats. And these were the results. As you can see, I designed this test to start at 6 a.m. in the morning. Then I got my test survivor to read a skill book until he finished, while fast forwarding through time. The default reading speed finished at roughly 1 p.m., the fast reader finished at roughly 11:20 a.m., and the slow reader finished at roughly 3:30 p.m. The fast reader was roughly 4 hours faster than the slow reader and 1 3/4 hours faster than default stats, which really isn't all that bad for 2 trait points. But realistically speaking, you could read 2 to 3 books with both the fast reader trait and default stats, all in one day. You probably could finish at most 2 books with slow reader per day, but realistically speaking, you'd only finish 1 book. Now, the reason people pick fast reader is because they want to level up quickly via a combination of skill books and the Life and Living channel during week 1 of the apocalypse. Hence, it isn't uncommon for these players to go to a library with a TV so that they can quickly level up their skills. But here's the problem with this strategy. For starters, fast reader isn't significantly better than default stats, but more importantly is the fact that the fast reader strategy for week 1 is reliant on RNG and spawn location. You're essentially rolling the dice when you play with this strategy. If you spawn far from a library or bookstore, then that's time lost on your literal week 1 strategy. You also have to clear the area, which is not only risky but also costs time. Then there's the problem of finding the exact books that you need. Sometimes you may not even find that important Volume 1 or 2 book for the specific skill you're attempting to level up. Last but certainly not least is the fact that this strategy wastes a ton of valuable time on a task that you can easily accomplish when you're more settled down in a more permanent base. Reading skill books really helps you at higher levels, something you'll reach after week 1. And by that point in the game, it made no sense to read fast. At that point, you can just read in the safety of your base every night. Or you can dedicate 1 day per book via slow reader and the fast forward button. This is honestly one of those hot takes that people just make to sound innovative or clever when it's clear to me that they've never likely tested it or critically thought about the opportunity costs involved with such a strategy. Fast reader takes 2 trait points, which could be used for something actually good, like outdoorsman or dexterous. And sure, maybe this makes for a decent strategy, finding an area with books and reading up early, but considering that fast reader isn't that much faster than default stats, why bother wasting those trait points? Guys, let's not try to reinvent the wheel here. Anyways, that concludes this gold standard Project Zomboid video. If you enjoy this sort of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to smash that notification icon so that you may be notified when I publish a new video. Oh, and don't forget to remember that you may opine anytime if you feel so inclined down in the comments section. I'm Captain Gold, and I hope to see you in my next video.